Hello, everyone. I'm Joe,
And TJ?
and we are the Schoolhouse 302. We are thrilled to come to you and share our books, which are part of the Read This series. We know that great leaders are avid readers. So we do this by introducing you to great reads that focus on our theme and topic for the month. This month is all about your purpose, reclaiming it, really setting in the ground once and for all. We know that a lot of us have been knocked off balance the last year and a half. So this is why we wrote this post in a disillusioned environment. How do we get grounded? And these books help us do just that. TJ?
Yeah, so I'm going to introduce our first book and also a tip. I think we'll both do a tip this time because we were trying to get grounded and it's important. But this is an oldie but a goodie. What Great Principles Do Differently by Todd Whitaker, 15 Things That Matter Most. Now there's an updated version, but this is what I have on my shelf is what Great Principles Do Differently. And here's how it's connected to purpose and groundedness. As we try to get grounded, we got to go back to what we know works. We got to go back to what we know we should be doing as school leaders, getting in and out of classrooms, making decisions based on our best teachers. And so this book reminds leaders of that. And so we want to go back to, again, what we know. This is a great book by Todd Whitaker. Just in chapter 2, it's the people, not the programs. And I think some of what we've got, Joe said off balance with, which we did start looking at, new programs and the learning loss thing. And we maybe forgot about the fact that this is a people business. And I know we didn't forget that entirely, but it is really important for us to reground ourselves in what matters most to us. And here's 15 things that matter a lot for principals. Now, here's my tip, Joe, is there a book like this? For me, it's Todd Whitaker. It's one of the first books I read when I became a principal. Is there a book that you need to reread? This is not a hard book to reread. And so I went back and said, what is it that's really important to our school leaders that I need to help them with as a principal supervisor? And I went back to this. So the reading tip is reread something. It can't hurt, especially if it's something that spoke to you a long time ago or and really guided and shaped your practice. Joe?
Yeah, great tip. There are certain things we should reread all the time. And, it doesn't always have to be cover to cover, right, TJ? I mean, there's parts of a book that if it truly resonates with you or something that sticks out with something you're dealing with at the time, I think that's a great way to reinforce learning. We know things that Todd Whitaker has put out, we can go back to at all times because they transcend time. And like you said, that book has been around for a while and it is a staple. The book I have this month, we have not presented a book like this in the past. It's a little different. This is almost an antique at this point. And don't let it fool you, but inside is truly genius. This is a book from a series of great thinking. So you could go online and we'll put the link in the show notes. But it's the world's greatest thinkers. This is the social philosophers. This one is called Man and Man. This month, we focused really on Epictetus, a social philosopher and a Stoic, probably one of the most famed Stoics. Pithy statements, all about our role, in our world, taking ownership of just what we control and letting go of other things. It's a great philosophy. Stoicism has resurged the last few years. We've heard it, Tim Ferriss, others, different podcasts. But TJ, there is genius that lies within this book. And I'll just read a little bit. What it says is here's just one part. This is the manual, which is featured in this compilation. It's what disturbs men's mind is not events, but their judgments on events. Now, here's why that's important. There's truth and then there's fact. There's perception. There's reality. This was written years and years ago, but individuals like James Allen in As a Man Thinketh also wrote almost the exact same words. This transcends time as well. The tip with this has Plato in it, other great thinkers. That's the beauty of a book like this. The manual, the Epictetus version of it, is actually only probably 20, 30 pages in this whole compilation. So great book. Pick these up. The link we'll put in is actually from a thrift store. I think you can get this whole set, 4 books in all, maybe I think for like 25, 30 bucks. So it's not that bad. But I think that's the way to go. Read something like this, digest it, allow yourself to enjoy this type of reading. Really, when it comes to getting grounded, reclaiming your purpose, and being stable once again.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great advice. And actually, you gave two more tips, right? Because you said you could read parts of books. So that's a great way, a great tool to come away with. Thank you, as always, for listening to and watching our Read This series. As always, you can find us at theschoolhouse302.com for blog posts, podcasts, books to read, and much more, always on the topic of leadership so that you can lead better and grow faster. We'll see you next time.